Hello and welcome to this video. I'm gonna see how the light looks actually to see if we can let some light in. It's better. Welcome to this video. As the title says, this will be talking about the Svadhisthana chakra and how I believe that it is connected to the mother wound. And also I believe the Muladhara chakra. Basically the lower few chakras are going to be really related to the mother wound, and I will get into why I believe that in a second. But this video should be very short, so yeah. Let's see. I don't have a script or anything that I'm working off of. No notes came through, so we're just doing this intuitively. We're just channeling. So I'm gonna just spray something, make sure the energy is clear. What do you want me to know before this video? Okay. They're saying it's all going to come. Just have freedom in this transmission. So beginning, yes, I believe that the lower chakras really establish who we are on this earth. And because the mother is responsible for nourishment, not only on a physical level by breastfeeding, but also just in general, like, providing empathy is what the mother really does. And so I believe that the lower chakras are mainly a configuration of who we deem ourselves to be. And because so much of that comes from the mother, I believe that the Svadhisthana chakra in particular, but really all of them, holds a lot of the mother wound energy. And so the mother wound comes from not being properly nurtured as a child. And we're all sensitive and we all have empathic needs. And just depending on your particular upbringing, there can be a distortion in that. And so with the Svadhisthana chakra, it's really about how you express yourself as a woman, essentially. And this expression is an expression of how your mother expressed herself and how generations of feminine women express themselves. And so I just see a lot of energy whenever I think of the mother wound. I think of simply the Svadhisthana chakra, because so much of our feminine expression comes from the mother and what we see growing up and what is, embodied for us growing up. And so I even believe that this is responsible for things like eating disorders, body issues, or like body dysmorphia, maybe even anorexia, other eating disorders. And this is just conjecture, by the way, but I just see it as, I see the mother wound as lack of nourishment. And because we depend solely on our mothers growing up, infant, toddler, young child, preteen, teen, a lot of our nourishment comes from the mother. And I feel that it's not acknowledged at all, really, how just intimate the bond between mother and child is. And I guess this messages also came because I watched a series on Netflix called Wild Babies. And the gist of it is it's the mother who teaches the offspring how to survive. And again, though it's not as extreme, we're not living in the wild, we still depend on our mothers to teach us how to survive. And so I just believe a lot of patterns and a lot of energy comes from how we are mothered. And thus, being back to the Svadhisthana chakra and how it just really impacts how you express yourself and how you conceptualize of yourself. And of course, the Svadhisthana chakra is, the seat of femininity. It's the seat of the self, The Svadhisthana chakra is the seat of the self. And so, a lot of patterning can be there, a lot of imprinting can happen there. And this impacts how we express ourselves, how our emotions harden, and how we express ourselves through those emotions. So I guess I can do, I kind of wanted to read off of my course a little bit. I want to go through and see if there's any information about the Svadhisthana chakra that I want to share and connecting it to the mother wound. This is also very sensual, so connected to our five senses. Oh, and the Svadhisthana chakra is in a very interesting area to it directly connects into the Manipura chakra, the navel chakra. I view the Manipura chakra as being at the navel, not the solar plexus area. So it's a very streamlined experience. And there's bundles of nerves there, I know as well. So I think this is actually where the wandering nerve connects, or one of our big nerves connects. But there's just so much energy there. So so much of our sense of self being there. And I was also getting at the nervous system there as well. So the parasympathetic, which is going to be our rest and digest, and then our sympathetic, which is going to be our fight or flight. And I would say the parasympathetic is going to be the more feminine one, sympathetic going to be the more masculine energy. So if you have trouble with fight or flight, you know that you're hyper in the sympathetic, but also there's something in the feminine energy. So just again, how intricately everything is connected, kind of blending science and spirituality and chakras together there. So maybe mumbo jumbo to some people, but if you understand what I'm saying, then you do. If you don't, you don't. Imagination also being very big in the Svadhisthana chakra. Was your imagination nurtured growing up? Were you able to express yourself? Were you able to have conversations? Were you able to have clear connection with your mother? Will really determine how healthy the Svadhisthana chakra is. What is your personal tastes like in dress, people, music, art, decoration? Things like that can really just tie into the mother wound. And I guess I can also go over, how to work with this chakra. Really, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know where I'm at. Give me a second. Okay, there I am. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When you are working with the chakras, basically there are different lineages of chakras, and because of that, there are different practices within those lineages. And so, the best thing you want to do when working with chakras are doing a specific lineage practice, because that lineage has kind of stood the test of time. And they also have secret or unknown practices in any given lineage. So what we know about is basically a watered down interpretation of how to work with chakras. But that's not to say that you need a guru, but a guru is definitely going to be pivotal in working with the chakras, I feel, for many people. All right, so things you can do in nature to work with the Svadhisthana chakra and the mother wound, which I also feel ties into money and the nervous system as well. Stargazing can really help. Doing 5 senses meditation, so bringing in touch will be very big, a sacred touch. Bringing in maybe even taste for some people, smell, incense, essential oil. So creating a sacred space and expanding into that space with these tools. Anything that induces comfort into the body, basically, will be very, very beneficial. So is there anything else here, Spirit? I think that's all, because I didn't want to stay on for too long. And yeah, so it's been about 10 minutes. I was like at the 5-minute mark, I'm like, shit, I don't know what else to say. But I think I covered it. Again, I feel that the lower chakras are going to be the mother wound, because the lower chakras are essentially the sense of self. And the mother has so much to do with that. And it's not to say the father doesn't either, but I view the father wound as being more the heart chakra, heart walls. I have to be defensive. And what does the father do? The father defends the family. He, provides. And it's the money wound a little bit too, but I feel the father wound is going to be the heart chakra. And maybe even a little bit in the Shuddha chakra as well. The throat chakra as well. How you express yourself, and how you express yourself in an aligned, healthy way. So that's simply how I conceptualize things. A bit different, but I think a lot of it is intertwined. But I would say, again, the lower systems of chakras are so heavily related to our mother, because she essentially imprinted her sense of self onto us, whether it was a conscious or unconscious thing. And only a theory, but again, you watch things like Wild Babies, or you watch how animals behave, and 9 times out of 10, it's the mother, well, not, maybe 7 times out of 10, it's the mother that actually rears the child in nature. So she creates for African big cats, lions, she creates the leader of the prides. And so the mother's role is really pivotal, and I believe that she is actually the blueprint to a lot of reality. Not saying, you have to heal, but really just addressing, how this plays out in your everyday life, I think will provide for a very nice perspective. So I'm gonna end with a card, just, I guess, addressing the primordial mother, which I view as the mother of all of existence. Some messages from the primordial mother. Wow, we have blossoming abundance. I feel that this lets us know that there's so much through the portal of the mother and healing the mother wound, and really activating also the Svadhisthana chakra. Because I feel for women, it's such a important chakra, almost not more important than the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra, but very, very fundamental. So basically having equal importance almost, you know, for our sense of self and sense of safety. And, you know, I think a lot of things we attribute to the Muladhara chakra are what our mother gives us, you know, or what she are supposed to give us. If you're listening to these ramblings, oh my. But yes, blossoming abundance, like what is through the portal of all of the like muck. And then we have woman holding a heart. So I feel that this is our Divine Mother coming in and letting us know that her love is unconditional. Because again, you know, we talk about unconditional love in the spiritual community, and that begins with our mother. And so when we don't experience that with our mother, we have to really kind of take several steps back and be like, oh, I should probably, you know, work through this issue more, because maybe I don't know what unconditional love is because I haven't received it from anyone else. Not my mother, not me. And I just feel like a lot of our sayings in the spiritual community, they make sense, but I feel that it's transcendence versus actually grounding in the body. So that's why, you know, I'm making a transition to include more talk into nervous system stuff, because that's very important. Somatic, 5 senses, very important. It's important that we include our bodies in spiritual awakening, I feel, because, you know, what's going on internally and then like in the physical body is really important. And yeah, so that's all I have for today. I want to thank you if you stopped by. If you're watching it, amazing. And yeah, so thank you so much. I finally had to do this talk because I'm like, there's no way I am rescheduling or redoing it or like, you know, doing anything but this today.